Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Shades of Red podcast. Today it is me, Cam, and Levi. Kraigen will be joining us in about 20-30 minutes or so. Going to go over a few things from this past week's games, who looked good and bad, the coach firings, standout players from this past weekend, games coming up, top 25 game picks, and then our picks from last week and how we did on those since Levi is keeping track. What did you guys think about this past week's games? Few people on the struggle bus.
A surprising one. Number one, Georgia.
Yep. Losing to Missouri for 3.5 quarters.
I don't know what's going on with Georgia, man. Last week it was Kent State. This week it's Missouri. I'm sure they're going to get it turned around, but, this is kind of something to look out for, especially since they still got to face Kentucky and Tennessee.
Yeah, absolutely. This week, I think it'll be all right for them because they get Auburn at home. Auburn's still trying to figure things out, dealing with some injury on the offensive line. Since I live near Auburn, I get a lot of Auburn content now. So when I'm at work, it's on Saturdays. That's all we watch.
What are you talking about? You're an Auburn fan now.
I'm not an Auburn fan. I would not ever call myself an Auburn fan.
You're an SEC fan now. You support Auburn.
You're an Auburn fan.
I'm more of a Tennessee fan than an Auburn fan, but sure.
In this season more than you said the words Virginia or Tech or Virginia Tech.
That's probably true, but that's just because Virginia Tech is very irrelevant this year.
That's because you're an Auburn fan.
It's good. No. My profile picture is still the Virginia Tech logo.
I don't know, dude.
Let's see. Washington lost to UCLA. They were down. 40-7, and going into the fourth quarter.
Whoa, hold on. Hold on. What did you just say?
UCLA and Washington, and going into the fourth.
47.
I don't think it was 40-7. I think it was 32 to I think they scored 2 touchdowns. I think it was 32-14.
Let's see.
7-3-6.
It was. They had 20. They scored 16 in the fourth. So yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 extra point, 2-point conversions. Yeah.
40-16. It was 40-7.
I thought I saw a highlight that said it was 40-7 going to the fourth, but maybe it was just me being dumb. It was 26-10 at halftime.
Yeah, dude, that Washington hype went away really quick.
Yeah, it did. I mean, they're still ranked, but
I mean, maybe we just underestimated UCLA. I mean, I guess maybe, but yeah, that was a pretty horrific showing from the Huskies.
Thompson Robinson looked good running the ball, but
DTR had a disgusting touchdown move at the end.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that was a crazy touchdown.
I don't even think he even could do that either. He just did it just because.
There was a lot of teams that felt kind of underperformed. A lot of teams a lot of ranked teams. For instance, USC really, really underperformed, in my opinion, this week.
They played Arizona State, right?
I feel like they should have blown Arizona State out of the water early. They're, new coach. They suck. So,
yeah.
That was it was 21-17. And they're at home. And so I thought that was a really bad performance from them. Penn State again.
Yeah. Even though it was raining, you're still facing Northwestern.
It's raining for both teams, though.
Yeah, well.
It was a poor game from. Even aside from the rain, it was just a poor performance in general from both teams.
Mm-hmm.
But even more so, Penn State, they should be winning by more than that.
For a top 10 team.
Yeah. Texas A&M again. We knew that they were going to crumble, but
yeah, they've been struggling all year. I guess Mississippi State's just a straw that broke the camel's back.
I mean,
Um,
other than that, Texas A&M did not score in the first half.
yeah, it was a really rough game for Texas A&M. A lot of I've seen a few of their fans wanting Jimbo Fisher fired.
Finally, how long did that take?
Yeah. Oklahoma, another team that struggled really big this week to TCU, but they looked bad last week against Kansas State too.
That's an understatement. They fucking sucked. They gave up 27 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
He was doing a little graphic to see who would get the 62 first. Aaron Judge or themselves. That's how bad it got.
Wow. Oh man.
Minnesota, I don't know what. I mean, at home, I think is the most disappointing part for them.
Oh yeah.
It's not
To
a
a team
bad
like
team.
Purdue is yeah.
They're not bad, but like they should have still won the game.
I feel like that's not an acceptable result, but I feel like if it was at Purdue and that upset happened, I think it would be like nobody would really look at it. But you are at home and you score one touchdown against Purdue.
Yeah. I mean, their whole offense, I think, revolves around the dynamic of Tanner Morgan and Muhammad Ibrahim. And Ibrahim was injured this week, or he was out of the game. Kind of a late minute decision, I think. But if Ibrahim is what really makes Minnesota go wild, then Minnesota's going to struggle when he leaves.
I mean, it is. We knew that before, but look at the 3 interceptions
Yeah,
against Purdue at home. He had a QBR of 17.
Sheesh.
that is bad.
So yeah, and then the grand finale of suckage, Pitt losing at home to Georgia Tech.
Yeah, that is embarrassing. Georgia Tech fires Jeff Collins and their AD going into that game. Go into Pittsburgh, beat a ranked Pitt 26-21.
232 yards of rushing on Pitt's head.
It's just unexplainable, man.
Yeah, it was a weird week for some teams. Wisconsin gets blown out 34-10 by Illinois at home.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
What happened in Wisconsin following that game?
Yeah.
He didn't get Herman Wurst. He at least got back to the locker room before he was fired. Pretty sure.
James Madison continues their tear of just blowing up the Sun Belt in their first year as a FBS team.
It's so touchdown real quick. This is the dumbest rule I think NCAA has.
Mm-hmm.
James Madison comes up from FCS to Sun Belt, and they're not eligible to be in a bowl or in the conference championship.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. I'm surprised that they were thrown in the Sun Belt year one because, like,
you get a deal. You get a deal. I mean, you take it, but
yeah, absolutely.
I don't understand the not being able to be in the postseason because you isn't the point to I feel like the point of coming to FBS is to get better recruits, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
More money.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to do that off the bat if you can't even get into the fucking postseason?
Yeah, if you can't, show what you can do against, better competition. Yeah.
I mean, I would be pissed if I was a James Madison fan. Well, are they undefeated?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They beat App State. That was their hardest game, I think.
I mean, they go fucking undefeated, 12-0, and they can't get in because of that rule. I mean, that is fucking stupid.
Yeah, and they'll probably win out. I think Louisville will be the hardest game for them, but I don't see anyone else who can really beat them. Coastal Carolina can put up a fight, but other than that, those 2 games, and that's it.
James Madison's offense looks good.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah. this season they put up 44, 63, 32 on App State, and then 40. And let's see, they've given up between in 3 games they've allowed only 27 points, and then they allowed 28 to App State.
They put up 44 on a team that scored 45 on Miami.
Yeah, and held them to 7.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Didn't
I
they
thought.
this week? They have to be being ranked in the polls, right?
No, they're not
They're-
ranked. They're
they're
receiving votes. Yeah.
Yeah, like close though.
Yeah, they're the highest team receiving votes. Or no, they're not.
I think you're third,
Fifth.
5th. Okay.
Yeah, they're fifth. Washington State, Baylor, Florida State, and Arkansas are above them.
No, Florida State just dropped out though, didn't they? Losing a week. Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to think this AP poll is consisting of 50 different polls.
Yeah, it's like FPI, SPI.
You know, if Florida State was ranked like 15 in one person's poll and they lost, they're still be in the poll. You know, so
And it's not like they lost to a team that was like super highly rated above them. Like Wake was 21, 21st, 23rd.
yeah, 21 or 20, 23.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, it was. I mean, 22 and 23 is what it was. It was Wake was 22, Florida State was 23. Yeah.
Yeah, so
So if one coach had them at 15 and Wake Forest at like 13 or 14, then Florida State just drops to 17, 18.
I do want to bring up something real quick because I saw it, and this is the first time ever in history that it's been like this. The AP poll and the coaches poll for the first time ever have the exact same rankings through number 16.
Really?
Yeah, 1 through 16 is the exact same for both.
What was the who was the number 17 in the AP poll, and what was the 17 for the coaches?
17, 18, 19 for AP is TCU, UCLA, Kansas. For the coaches, it's Kansas, TCU, UCLA. So same teams, just different order. But I just wanted to bring it up. I thought it was a really interesting fact.
That is pretty cool, actually. Normally it shakes up generally after 4, like 5 through 10 it shakes up, but
yeah,
it's completely the same all the way to 16. Wow.
it was mostly because how off, like, there was a shit ton of teams that were ranked that lost last week.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oklahoma, NC State, but NC State didn't fall far.
Baylor.
NC State got lucky that
All
the
those
week
teams
that
lost. Yeah.
is the week that, like, everybody decided to lose.
Yeah, Baylor, Oklahoma.
In a normal week, we definitely should have dropped further because that was an abysmal performance.
Abysmal only to lose by 10. All right.
It didn't feel like that.
I'm sure it felt weird because NC State took a 3-0 lead to start the game and then was just behind from there, weren't they?
No, they were up 10-6 at one point, but then
Clemson
scored for half. It was just it's. I'm not really upset with losing to Clemson. Like, I can wrap my head around that, and it's not a big deal to me. Obviously, I'd prefer to win, but like, I can get that.
Right.
I was more disappointed with how the only thing we said for the past 4 games is how predictable and inefficient our offense is, and they literally got a blueprint from Wake Forest on how to beat Clemson with throwing the ball, and they just decided to not do any of that and play into what Clemson does best on offense. And if this team could just, like, if honestly, at this point, if they could game manage a game better, our defense would probably get us wins. But they just refuse to have the ball. It's just 3 and out all the fucking time, and it's so disappointing that they kind of put something, at least a game plan better. It was that was the
Yeah,
only part.
it was just yeah.
I didn't really care. Well, I did care. I do care that we lost. I don't want to lose, but sometimes like I can handle a loss if like
We're not the better team.
yeah, but and we definitely were not the better team, and I can own up to that. But it's just the way that we played was you're not gonna beat any ranked team playing like that.
No,
And so
yeah.
and like people like I saw like blaming the refs, and granted, 2 of those fumbles probably were fumbles, but I think even if those fumbles came back, we still would have lost that game. We just weren't playing good at all.
I was on Twitter earlier today, and I did not realize how many Clemson fans just hate Dave Doran.
Yeah, I guess I told y'all. I saw a poll from a Clemson like fan page, and a lot of Clemson fans now consider NC State their biggest rival, not South Carolina, and it's pretty shocking to think that it is that way, or like people feel that way. I mean, I would open. I mean, I'm receptive to any rivalry if it is, but I think we always have a rival with UNC, good reason.
In
But
state.
this is like, I hate when you have like when they try to like make a rivalry, like oh these teams are rivals, and it's just they're not.
Oh
This
yeah.
the Clemson NC State one, it goes so far back between Dabo and Dave Doran that it's become an actual rivalry just because of how much these two fan bases hate each other's coach and how much the coaches do not like each other. And as long as Doran and Dabo are where they're at, it's going to be a rivalry just because of that hatred.
Are there any other games you want to go over from this past weekend?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah, Nebraska picks up their second win of the year, beating Indiana.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
Indiana beat was
Nebraska back on top.
Indiana beat Wisconsin. How did Nebraska beat Indiana?
Illinois beat Wisconsin.
Oh, I thought it was Indiana.
Nope. Nebraska was at home and beat Indiana. Like, I don't know what the score was. I know they lost 5-21 at the end of the fourth quarter, or like in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, ended up 34-10, yeah.
Indiana beat Wisconsin, and Nebraska beat Illinois.
Nebraska beat Indiana.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. Is that their second win of the year?
Was at home too in that loss? I didn't even know that. I thought they were away.
Wisconsin was home. Nebraska was home. Nebraska.
Yeah, I thought Wisconsin lost away 34-10. I didn't realize that they were in Madison for that loss.
Yeah, it makes it that much tougher. All right. Speaking of Wisconsin, loses to Illinois. After the game, fire their head coach.
Yep.
They lose by 24 at home.
21, but yeah. Oh, no, 24.
Yeah, it's 24. It's 34-10. It was bad.
Like we talked about a little off camera.
Yeah.
Again, what I said, from 2009 to 2017, they were a 10-win team and went to the conference championship game every year. And some of those years were under Christ, and I'll give them that. But since 2018, they've done that one time in 5 years, and it's just they're not going to do it this year. They've already lost 3 games. They're just so far below expectations, and I think it worked at the beginning, and they had a little resurgence because they just went to the Rose Bowl a few years ago, right? Like
Yeah.
2019, I think they went to the Rose Bowl.
They lost Justin Herbert in Oregon.
Yeah, and so maybe that you thought it was going to come back, but it's not. It's getting worse, and the and Wisconsin is normally so much higher than that, especially in recent years. That I think you had to do it.
Yeah. Who do you think they? Who do you think is on their big board for people to bring in?
I Lance Leopold, I think, is
The usual suspects.
Yeah. I've seen Dave Doran. I've seen Dave Clawson. I've seen Lance Leopold.
Dave Doran. Is very. I think Dave Doran would be very likely if we went out.
Yeah.
Because Dave Doran he coached at Wisconsin before. And so it would make sense. But I think that we would have to win out for that to even be receptive to the Wisconsin fan base. I think at this moment, they appointed Jim Leonard, right?
Yeah.
I think if it's not Lance Leopold, it's probably Jim Leonard, unless they have some crazy fucking money that we don't know about, and they offer somebody a shit ton of money. But I think that's probably where it's going to end up.
Well, you turn Kansas around in 2 years, you're going to be looked at. That's for sure.
But again, and it's going to matter. I mean, we don't know who's going to, not, or we don't know every team that's going to fire their coach. We know a lot of them so far that have fired their coach.
Yeah.
I think there's probably 5 or 6 Power 5 jobs that are going to end up vacant. And it's probably going to end up coming down to money. So if any of those are SEC, I think that's probably where he's going to end up going.
Oh. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Another one that was fired yesterday after their loss on Saturday was Carl Durrell from Colorado.
Yeah, that one.
Poor Colorado.
He was there for 2 years, from 2020 to this year, and got fired.
There's a lot of things I don't understand. How they've handled this season is one of the most bizarre things I think I've ever seen. I mean, they issued a public apology after 2 weeks to the fans, and then kept them for 3 more weeks. I mean, and we talked about it last week. The not this game, but the previous game, they were the mascot was playing solitaire on the fucking stadium side. Remember?
Yeah.
Like, how did the fucking football program had to give him those cards? He didn't just buy them out of his own money.
Yeah.
Like, how do you get? And then the issue of public apology after 2 weeks, and then fire him after five games. Like, why didn't you fire him then? I mean, it's just clear it wasn't going to work out. I don't understand why they held it up so long.
Yeah. I guess it's only his second full year as a coach, but I mean, even his recent history has not been exactly the most glorious thing to look at, because he was at UCLA from 03 to 07, and his best season was 10-2, but every other season was 6-6.
I understand. However, if you're willing to issue a public apology after 38-13 and 41-10 losses, and then the following week he loses 49-7.
Mm-hmm.
It got worse immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
So I don't understand why they sat through a 45-17. And honestly, the best performance, they fired him after his 43-20.
yeah.
So I don't understand. Did they also fire the athletic director, or was it just the coach?
All I saw was it was just the coach. The only AD I know they got fired was Georgia Tech. And Auburn's resigned before the season.
And then on the looking forward, who the fuck is going to go to that program?
It's going to be maybe you get David Shaw from Stanford because he's likely to be fired soon.
David Shaw if he gets fired, he's going to find a better job than that. And you have to really you have to be on a redemption arc, or you're a coordinator that's just willing to take any head coaching job.
Yeah.
I mean, the only person there's two people I think I could see, like actual head coaches that I could see taking that Colorado job, is Bronco Mendenhall and Dan Mullen.
I thought you were going to say Justin Fuente.
What do you say, Cam?
The former Bronco? You remember your favorite running back as a child, Levi? Bronco
What?
Mendenhall?
No, wait, he was on the Steelers. I'm thinking of
That's for
Illinois.
Rashad Mendenhall.
Oh, sure, Rashad Mendenhall.
Oh, who's Bronco Mendenhall?
He was a head coach for UVA.
Yeah.
He retired.
Oh, that's my fault.
He retired to know with his family.
Where was he before that? He was at BYU before UVA. Is that right?
Yeah, BYU.
Yeah.
For a long time. He's there for a long, long time.
Yeah. Then he was at UVA for 4 to 6 years, something like that.
But that's like the kind of, I mean, that's kind of like the level I think you have to go to with this. I mean, there's nothing attractive about a Colorado football job at this point.
No. Yeah. I don't know if a coach that's not been there for a while or has this year off. Maybe Justin Fuente gets that job. Maybe the only stipulation is you can't bring Cornelsen with you.
But that's what I mean, like you have to really be like maybe Bobby Petrino.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Kraigen.
What's up? I mean, it's just the level you have to go to convince someone to want to coach Colorado football is going to be a hard sell if they have any sort of self-respect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so their players are trash. So, I mean, Tom Herman maybe what's he doing?
Not much. Yeah, not much.
I mean, that's what I mean. Like, they fucked around so much, and the way they handled it, I just don't get it. I don't. It's bizarre to me how they handled that.
So I'm looking at the CoachHotSeat.com rankings, and they've added Brent Venables to the hot seat. He's on hot seat number 3.
They won't do that.
I don't know why. First year, I don't know why you would throw Venables on the hot seat already.
The amount of money you would need to do that is...
I know, because they pay him a lot.
Probably $100 million.
Another one on here, and this one's been on here for a while, but Scott Satterfield. I think that loss to Boston College is kind of amplifying that a little bit. Because Jeff Hafley, Boston College's coach, is also on the hot seat.
Yeah, he's not going to make it. Yeah, he's getting fired.
He's cooked.
Yeah.
It's not good. So. Yeah, he's done. I think I think I think the most likely next one to go from Power 5 is probably either Maybe Scott Satterfield.
I could see it being Satterfield. I could.
See, I
I don't know. I guess.
think the person that should be fired is David Shaw, but I think
Yeah.
he's got enough respect over his career for them to not do it mid-season.
Yeah, that's the only reason he's not really right now.
But I think Satterfield could be probably the next Power 5 one to go.
Mhm.
I think Power 5 jobs that are going to open up this year, Stanford, David Shaw, I think is going to go. Northwestern, Pat Fitzgerald is probably going to go.
He'll probably be asked to resign instead of firing him, though. They'll let him finish the season out, though.
Ryan Harsin is going to go from Auburn.
Yeah.
I don't know what his buyout is, but I think Jimbo might end up getting the can in Texas A&M.
Yeah, it's been a rough season for Jimbo so far. So
Scott Satterfield
get
is
might
probably going to go.
I think Jimbo will survive.
Jimbo can't lose another game, or he can only afford to lose one more probably at A&M.
Jimbo?
He's got the same record A&M as Semlin did when he started.
Yeah. I think he goes, but I don't think one loss is going to determine that.
No, yeah.
Neil Brown.
Neil Brown will be gone.
Jeff Halfley, Boston College, would go.
Yeah.
I think if you would have asked me last week, I would have said Elijah Drinkwitz from Missouri, but he may have just saved his job by losing to Georgia by 4.
Yeah, they gave Georgia a lot of trouble. Was not expecting that at all.
So I think there's a lot of jobs opening up.
I think Indiana opens up too, but I think Tom Allen is asked to resign just because of his age.
Yeah, but in terms of like Lance Leipold, where he could go,
it's an open field.
If Auburn and A&M are open, that's where he's going to go. They're going to offer the most money. And so...
and then you've got coaches like Hugh Freeze. Is he going to go somewhere? Maybe someone hires Signetti from James Madison. I mean, there are a lot of people who could be taken from maybe someone buys out Mike Elko, A&M, because he's turned Duke around in 1 year.
Luke Fickell is always in the conversation, but I don't know if he'll actually leave.
I think he would go if
it was an SEC job or Ohio State.
I think he can only go if it's Ohio State.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
At this point, I think it's only Ohio State. I think if Cincinnati had no plan to go Power 5, I think you may see a little bit of availability, but yeah, he's going to be Power 5.
12.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he stays.
I've seen the name Jim Knowles, Ohio State's defensive coordinator.
I definitely don't think he'll leave after 1 year.
But I mean, realistically, we have how many Power 5 jobs already open? What, 4?
Georgia Tech, Colorado, Arizona State, Wisconsin. Georgia Tech? Did I say Georgia Tech? Was that the first one? 4.
You said 4. I mean, there's probably another 6 that could open, realistically.
Oh, easily, yeah. Lane Kiffin could leave Ole Miss.
Bill O'Brien, it's time to go.
Somebody will hire Bill O'Brien, and it will be a bad hire, in my opinion.
Hopefully, yeah.
The best thing that can happen in history of NCAA ever is if Bill O'Brien goes to Auburn and starts beating Nick Saban. I pray for that. I pray Alabama.
The new Auburn fan Joe is loving this idea.
I pray Alabama shits on this guy so much he goes to Auburn and fucking beats Nick Saban first year. That would be amazing.
Just becomes Nick Saban's kryptonite. Never beats Bill O'Brien.
Man, that'd be a great fantasy novel for sure.
Don't care. That's what I'm rooting for. But yeah, so anyways, yeah, it's I think this is going to be a weird coaching carousel this year.
It absolutely will be. And, I mean, there's still a lot of names out there.
I think there's a chance that Dave Doran leaves anyways.
Dave Clawson's another one that could go, so that opens up Wake and NC State.
Yeah, I just think, I've heard rumors that a lot of people think that this is about as far as he'll be able to go with the program.
Yeah.
So, maybe he looks elsewhere anyways. So I don't know if Dave Clawson leaves Wake Forest, that program's not gonna.
Oh, it's in the can.
Up off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you heard this, but in the history of since they've ever started grading recruits, Wake Forest in the history of that is since like 1996, I think, when they started doing it. Wake Forest has one top 300 player from recruiting.
Who was that player?
John Wolford.
I forget who it was. It's a receiver that's on their team right now, actually, I think.
Is it JT?
Is it AT?
No, A.T. Perry. No, he was like 700.
Jeez.
He was like a low 3-star out of college or out of high school.
I was on Twitter earlier today. I'll say this again, and I was going through tweets that mentioned Dave Clawson, and there was a bunch of Florida State fans just shitting on Dave Clawson, and it was like before the game. So I was going through and I was talking shit on behalf of Dave Clawson here, and they're like, "Oh, I bet Dave Clawson doesn't even know where Tallahassee is on a map." Yada yada. Dave Clawson thinks Tallahassee is gonna look like the end of the world when he gets down here. Yada yada, because of hurricane. And
oh, sorry, it's two. There's two.
There are two.
Donovan Green, they're a current wide receiver for him, and in 2006, Josh Adams, a running back.
Jeez.
That is there.
And he was number 300.
Is it? He was no.
I
He was
can't even describe how sad and pathetic that is. Like, I don't know how that's possible.
But that team is ranked top 15.
Okay. Also, all right. In the history of Wake Forest, how many 4-star and up recruits do you think they have?
2, maybe.
I would say 2. I'd say the 300. Yeah.
4.
4.
It's very impressive.
Their 5th best player in recruiting history is a 3-star.
Wow.
I just think about that. That's
sad. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's like generationally bad. Like, I don't even know how the hell that even happened.
But
it's Wake Forest.
Like, I mean, to think of that is what they have working with, and Dave Clawson has that team where they're at.
Yeah.
He got last year for the first time in school history.
I was really hoping Tech would hire Dave Clawson.
I don't know if he just happened to find the perfect mix of kids that he just found them, or if he built them into that. But
he develops them. He plays his juniors and seniors before anyone else, and he develops the younger guys.
The fact he's done it is impressive, and I thought he was a good coach before I heard that stat, and then it just when you hear that, it's almost like, can you imagine what he would do if he had the recruiting ability of a big program?
Yeah. It would be insane.
Awesome.
Imagine if he had a defensive coordinator that could actually call a defense. Because they win a lot of games that are just shootouts.
I mean, it's impressive, and so I don't have a problem with it. Wake Forest has a problem with us, but I don't have a problem.
I don't have a problem with Wake Forest either. I mean, they've just been bad for most of my life, so it's like, it's kind of nice to see a team like that do well. It's like watching Kansas do good because they've been bad for 13 years.
I look fails.
Do what?
I hope Kansas fails.
No. Well, they can drop off now.
I don't know. Sometimes when I see
They can win 10 games, they can drop off. I want them to win 10 games. That's all I want.
I want them to win a natty this year.
The season Texas beats them, they're off.
Yeah.
I think if the sometimes when I see these quarterbacks these teams start doing good, I'm like, you know what? I hate them. I hate that team now. They fail.
Like App State.
Yes.
Yeah, no, App State is a whole different reason.
Yeah.
App State, absolutely App State.
Their fans. Yeah.
That is the worst fan base. How do you talk that much shit?
And have 12,000 fans.
Like UNC is the school that I by far dislike the most, but
Obvious reasons.
it was comical to watch App State beat Texas A&M, and I'm not shitting you. The same day that they beat A&M, they're on Twitter, like talking about how they're better than UNC. 1 week after they fucking lost to them.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Actually, and they had to come back too. It's not even like they kept it close the whole game. They had to score like 40 points in the fourth quarter or something like that.
They're getting fucking railroaded until North Carolina decided to stop trying.
It's just it's rare that UNC agree on something, and like we were just they were just laughing our asses off that these fans. You just beat Texas A&M. Like we're happy. Like we're not jealous of you. Just fucking why do you bring other teams into it? Especially a team you just lost to the week before.
Yeah, I remember. I guess it was what year was it? 2019. Virginia Tech was going to the Belk Bowl, and they were still trying to decide who the other team was. It ended up being Kentucky, but App State fans were like, "We want Virginia Tech. Give us Tech. Oh, we're so much better." It was super annoying. And now whenever I see like App State fans on my Instagram story, I'm like, God, I want to unfollow you so bad.
I don't. But yeah, so you're gonna go into Heisman candidates.
Yeah, sure. Hendon Hooker off this past week, so we didn't get to see anything from him. But we got to see C.J. Stroud against Rutgers.
Oh, yes. It's time for me to chime in. So, that was a very pedestrian game from CJ, but, Mayan Williams, the meatball himself, he had himself a career day because Trayvon Henderson was a late scratch. So I feel he just took a back week, although he could have stat padded and boosted his case. I don't think this week would really hurt him. I don't think it would be a detriment to him for having a interception, 2 touchdowns. I mean, he did his thing. He took a backseat to Mayan, and the rest of the team did well. And Jackson Smith and Jigma didn't play again. I don't know what's going on with him, but overall for CJ, I still he's still top 3 right now in the race. Him, Jalen Daniels, Stroud, Hendon Hooker, around those 4.
Jalen Daniels.
Yeah, Jalen Daniels is out of the blue. What is Jalen Daniels?
He's been going crazy for Kansas. They're 5-0 for a reason.
Well, Adrian Martinez has been going off for Kansas State for 2 games. But that doesn't make him any more likely to become a Heisman.
Hey, don't be disrespecting Jalen.
I'd give it to Sam Hartman before Jalen.
One guy that I think benefited from not playing this week was Mo Ibrahim from Minnesota. He was out for the game and they lost. So he comes back next week and they win. I think his Heisman campaign gets even stronger.
I still am on what I said last week. If the voting ended today, I would vote Hendon Hooker.
Yeah.
But I still think C.J. Stroud is going to win it.
Yeah.
Next Stroud, it's his year to win it, so I could see that for sure.
Especially Bryce Young is out for an extended period of time with his AC joint shoulder injury.
Oh yeah,
It would be his.
absolutely.
Well, it's not even. Well, that also helps, but in my opinion, Bryce Young has not been playing that good this year.
Yeah, the chemistry with the receivers has looked bad so far, so he hasn't really had a good start to the season.
I would put Caleb Williams before Bryce Young.
Yeah, Caleb Williams was having a day this weekend. He was awesome. Watched them play on Saturday, and they looked good. Caleb Williams was making just crazy plays. Could make a whole Heisman highlight reel out of that game for him.
Adrian Martinez is dangerously close to top 10 or top 5. Like, this is just weird to think about how close.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Nebraska effect.
I know Reed's crying inside tears of joy that he's being a great player in someone else's team, though.
It only took him leaving Nebraska to be.
Yeah, only took him not playing for Scott Frost to be good. So.
Yeah.
I'm still on the. My opinion has not changed.
Yeah, a dark horse to watch. I will say if he keeps up what he's doing, Sam Hartman. He's only got 1,200 yards this year, but it's only week 5. Play some tough competition, scoring as he should. 15 touchdowns to 2 picks. He's
Michael Penix Jr. is still in it. He had a rough start to the game on Friday.
He's not. He's done.
He came back with 4 touchdowns after that.
Dorian Thompson Robinson.
Yeah, DTR could be in it too. He had a great game. He looked just fantastic. He just gets better every year.
If there's another player that I think if another player I'd put into it is Blake Quorum, the running back from Michigan.
Oh yeah.
He's really good.
I mean, he has 10 touchdowns already.
Wow.
He's averaging like 6.5 yards a carry, I think.
Yeah. So I think that he's another one.
Ground running again. He was really good last year. Now he's coming back, and he's the only back they have now. Haskins is with the Titans now. So.
Yeah, fuck Hassan Haskins.
Yeah, so I think, but yeah, I don't think last week really changed anything for the Heisman race.
No, not at all. Not really.
I still think that.
Hendon is probably still a front runner. So.
Yeah, I think I think Hendon Hooker's schedule allows his Heisman moments, but I feel like there's going to be a slip up. He's on the back, like on the other side. He's got a lot of national team game coming up, and against really good teams that can hurt if he has a bad performance. And I know CJ Stroud is gonna. He always, regardless of what he's doing, he always performs good, and those big games. And so I think that he's probably going to end up pushing away. But it would be cool to see Hendon Hooker win.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'd be really nice.
That'd be kind of
a different, like a different school in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they've not won one since. Oh.
Payton? Oh wait, Stuggers.
All right, I guess that'll do it for the Heisman talk this week because there's not much too different. Just a few more names to throw out there.
Pretty much just.
Yeah. Games to watch this week. Is there anyone you guys want to throw out there who might not be top 25 or, coach on the hot seat might get fired after this one? I mean.
Do we want to go through top 25 first and come back to that? See if there's any games outside the top 25?
Yeah, sure, we can do that. Yeah.
Yep. It's my time to shine.
It is.
All right. So again, we're gonna go through top 25 games and predict them. Some of them are gonna be easy. We can just go through it quickly. Some of them, I just dropped my fork on my dog. I just dropped it again, so that's great. What was it saying? Oh, some of them are gonna be easy. Some of them I have discussion. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we have to go through all of them because you don't want another Pitt and Georgia Tech situation, though.
I will gladly take that because I have no regrets about that one. I'm sorry that Pitt can't play football.
Yeah, same.
So first one, noon on Fox. Number 4 Michigan travels to Indiana. Michigan is favored by 22 points in Bloomington.
Yeah, I'll take Michigan, but I don't know if they'll cover. I know Tom is on the hot seat, but
I'll take Michigan and the points. Blake Corum's going to have like 28 carries, 180 yards, maybe like 3 touchdowns, and JJ's just not going to have a turnover. Just game manage it. They'll probably win like 41 to like 17 or something like that.
Yeah, Michigan will take it. I think they get the points too. With Blake Corum.
Amy's just saying that because he doesn't know football. All right. Next game.
What are you picking?
Oh, I'm picking Michigan. Sorry.
yeah, it's like no doubt.
Next game, noon on ESPN. I think they kind of fucked up this one. It should have been a better time slot for this. But number 8 Tennessee travels to number 25 LSU. Tennessee is favored
By 29.
2.5 points in Baton Rouge. Temperature for kickoff is going to be
About 70.
82. You're fucking wrong. It's going to be a 79.
Oh, maybe that's current temperature, 69. But Tennessee travels to Death Valley. Everyone says it's a really hard place to play. Hendon Hooker's been in similar situations last year. Still performs well. Give me Tennessee and the points in this one.
I think Tennessee will take it too.
Because I'll tell you right now, LSU did not look good against Auburn last week.
Yeah, I don't see Jaden Daniels is hurt too, so I don't know how LSU is going to do. So
Advantage LSU.
Yeah, I'll probably take LSU. Actually, not LSU, Tennessee.
I was about to say.
I was like, what are you smoking?
He just said it like it was normal. Yeah, just give me LSU.
Yeah, pretty easy, LSU.
All right. Yeah, I'm picking Tennessee also. Until I see something from LSU, I won't be predicting.
They don't look good this year, so
having much for them. Next, another noon game. Fox Sports 1, College Game Day. Number 17, TCU travels to number 19, Kansas. TCU is favored by 7 points. And it's a cool day, 58 degrees in Kansas.
Yeah, I think Kansas has had their fun this year. I think 5-0 has been really good for them. TCU is going to come in, get work done, and beat Kansas by probably 13.
I think 7 is a little disrespectful to Kansas seeing as they're like the home team, but after TCU explosion on Oklahoma, I will take TCU, but they will only win by 4 points.
yeah, I'm not buying the Kansas hype either. I think TCU comes in and wins.
I personally think Kansas is better than Alabama. And I think I think Kansas wins, and I have no reason for it. I
Levi's on the Jalen Daniels Heisman train. That's why he's on it. That's why he
I feel like this is a game that, like, it just has bullshit written all over it. And
Yeah. Why their game day, I have no idea. Kansas couldn't even fill their stadium and had to beg for people to come to the Texas game the other year.
to be
stormed
fair,
the field after the last one, after beating Iowa State by 2.
this was probably the best location for them for game day.
Yeah.
Tennessee, LSU.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought
They were at Tennessee
yeah.
last week, though, so fair that they go somewhere else. And Kansas is, looking like the best.
When people were saying Duke and Kansas, I was like, that's fucking stupid. But now you have 2 ranked teams that are undefeated and literally no other good options. I mean,
One.
no, I would not go to UCLA. They fill like 50% of the stadium.
No, he meant Ohio State. He didn't mean UCLA.
They don't fill the Rose Bowl, so.
You did not. Did you mean Ohio State, Michigan State?
No, I was talking about the LSU Tennessee game. I had one other option. It's like I was assuming that.
I thought, Joe, what you just said he was talking about Ohio State.
Yeah, I was kidding.
Oh.
I was not being serious.
Yeah, I think Kansas wins. No reason. Don't ask me why. I have no football logic into that reason.
That's fair.
I think Kansas TCU though. I think they can pull it out. I wouldn't be surprised though. It can go either way.
Yeah.
Next game, a match SEC Network. Arkansas travels to number 23 Mississippi State. Mississippi State favored by 8 points.
Arkansas taking that.
If KJ Jefferson plays, I would take Arkansas, but I'll take Rogers and Mississippi State this week.
Oh, Jefferson is hurt.
He's a game time decision right now.
Yeah. Yeah, if he plays Arkansas by a lot.
A lot. I'm going with Mississippi State. I think they'll cover. I think they're hot right now, and I feel like being at home really helps them. Starkville crowd, those cowbells. I feel like they're going to get out after it. High-scoring affair, but they're going to play and win.
And those cowbells are loud. Can't confirm. Very annoying.
Oh, it's a fucking concussion too.
KJ?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Miss State.
Yeah, if Jefferson doesn't play, it's Mississippi State for sure.
I think even if he plays, I don't think it's gonna be good. But I don't know. Sam Pittman can't ever understand what the fuck he's saying.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just quote. He gets asked. He has some mild symptoms, and those are things the doctors look at. Each kid's a little bit different on how they react. We've had guys out. We've had guys back in 3 days. We've had guys out for 27 days. We'll wait and see. What the?
Yeah.
So he's out.
So he did his job with the media and said absolutely nothing.
We got those doctors that the Dolphins fired, so it's all good.
All we know is he's out sometime between 3 and 30 days. Good luck.
Nice.
Jesus Christ. All right, so Joey, did you say Miss State too?
Yeah, I said Mississippi State.
All right. If KJ Jefferson is deemed active for that game, and if you send in the chat you think Arkansas will win before noon, then I'll switch it.
Yeah, I've got Arkansas if KJ plays. Mississippi State if he doesn't.
All right. Next one, ESPN Plus 230. South Florida travels number 24 Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a favorite by 28 points.
Yes. Give me what's his name? Jeff Scott in South Florida. No, just kidding. Give me Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think this is a wash. I think we're all picking Cincinnati. It's an easy game. Should be. They're at home. That's another conference win for Cincinnati as they try to repeat. Or three-peat, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, they're in the playoff last year. Obviously, they won last year.
Yeah, but did they win the year before?
Yeah, they beat Auburn in the bowl game.
Yeah.
Then 3-peat.
Yeah, Cincinnati should take this. It's not going to be pretty for South Florida.
All right. Sorry, I got sidetracked for a second. Hold on. All right. 3:30 CBS. The Fighting Brian Harsons of Auburn travel to number 2 Georgia. Georgia favored 29.5. Also, just a little fun fact: if you want to go to the game, you will have to pay at least $167. So.
Even though they struggle with Missouri, give me Georgia.
Yeah, give me Georgia. That spread, though, is looking pretty interesting. I would
think Auburn
30.
would be competent enough to get under and be able to cover the 30, but who knows? So, especially the way Georgia's looked. So,
I think this is a trap game. Georgia's got Vanderbilt next week. You're going to struggle against Auburn. Nah, Georgia wins. Auburn covers the 29.5, though. Georgia hasn't scored, didn't even put up those numbers on Kent State. I don't think they're going to put up those numbers on Auburn.
Yeah. You say that like world beater, and
Do what?
you say that like Auburn is just like a world beater, and they're just gonna fucking, you know. I'm honestly almost to the point where I'd be more scared to play Kent State than Auburn.
they're probably better.
Yeah, Kent State would probably beat Auburn.
Yeah, they probably would.
A lot of teams would right now.
If Penn State can beat Auburn by 29 and Georgia doesn't, and Penn State was on the road, just saying, Georgia, you might be the number 1 team in the nation, might not be yours anymore. You might not hold that title.
They already lost it.
They're not one anymore.
Yeah, they're number 2.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying, I feel like most people would still feel like Georgia is a better team. They just been slipped up.
I think there's a difference between slip up and continuously not playing good.
Yeah.
Case right now, they've been questionable a few weeks now.
But yeah, so Georgia.
Didn't Carter get hurt too? Carter, their defensive tackle, that came back. Didn't he get hurt too?
I don't know. Next, 3:30 p.m. FS1, Texas Tech travels to number 7 Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State favored.
Oklahoma State. Texas Tech is in a really rough schedule right now. Oklahoma State in Stillwater.
They played 5 ranked teams in a row. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Give me the dark horse Heisman, Spencer Sanders, in Oklahoma State.
I thought that you were about to say Texas Tech. I heard dog.
I did think that too.
And I was like, no fucking way. All right, so Cam, you also say Oklahoma State.
Yeah. Out of man, I got them covering.
Levi's taking Texas Tech.
I really want to, but I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
I also like Oklahoma State. Like if I were to bandwagon a second team, it would be Oklahoma State.
Makes sense.
Gotta love Jeff Gundy.
Well, okay. Well, I like my Gundy, but I like their stadium. I think their stadium's pretty cool. So
yeah.
That's fair. But next, I think this is gonna be a good one. 3:30 p.m. Fox. Number 11 Utah travels to number 18 UCLA. Utah favored 4.5.
I would take UCLA in this one. I think DTR is just going to play too well. Utah went out last week and blew up Oregon State. Sure, I don't think they'd do it against UCLA.
That's where you're wrong, buddy. Utah's going to win. and they're going to get more than 4.5.
Kraigen does not want any Pac-12 team in the playoffs this year.
Is this a biased pick because of what happened with Washington last week, or
no? This is a real big. Utah's a legit team. They're very good, and UCLA will struggle with them.
This is the same guy that picked Stanford over Oregon, by the way.
That was a biased pick, by the way, but this is not.
That was a biased pick.
This is not.
That was a prayer and a hope that David Shaw would somehow find a way, but he did not. He's absolute garbage. So
I also believe what Kraigen's saying. I will take Utah. I believe that Cam Rising is a better dual threat QB than DTR, and that
he's
Utah
not dual threat. But he's better in the air, but not in the ground for sure.
He's like Jacoby Brissett.
Oh, hold on. How were we throwing Jacoby Brissett in here? Let that man live. Damn.
I'll let the man live. He's doing well.
He's trying his best, okay?
They both make Jacoby look like a preschooler, but
okay.
Well,
Okay.
I'm taking Utah in the points. They will win by a touchdown on the road. And UCLA's undefeated streak.
I know UCLA's home crowd of 12 is pretty loud.
I need to recover the L I'm going to take on Kansas, so I'm going to go Utah.
Recover the L.
Yeah, I think Utah wins, but I think it would be hilarious if UCLA won.
Yeah, it would be for sure.
I agree.
Next, I'd probably the biggest upset alert of the week. 4 p.m. on ABC. Number 3, Ohio State travels to Michigan State. Ohio State favorite 25.5.
I would be shocked if Michigan State lost this game. And I'm going to say that and then take Ohio State. Mel Tucker's job is on the line. Ohio State wins this one by 35.5.
God, man, I feel bad for Michigan State. We have owned them ever since the 2016 game where the fucking Michael Gager did the wheel celebration. Like, we have not, let up on them ever since. And I feel like it's going to continue. We're going to beat them, 52-13. I don't know, 52. CJ Stroud has a standout day.
I can see it.
Maybe we'll make Cade Stover, watch out for him. Watch out for him. He's a GOAT. He'll get 5 catches for 60 yards and a touchdown. We roll as usual. No disrespect to Michigan State, though. I always want them to beat Michigan. Penn State, who knows? But, yeah, we roll over Michigan State again. And we cover, obviously.
I'm going to say what I'm going to say with full disrespect. Mel Tucker, terrorist ball, is going to give them a fucking loss. You suck. Fuck you.
Tucker deserves all the hate that comes to him for other reasons. Mostly Colorado, but that's a story for another time. So,
no, look. I actually did not dislike Mel Tucker last year, but he got that big contract, and I immediately wanted him to fail. And I don't know what it is, but I don't know if it's just because I'm a hater or what. But
they paid him a big contract for the Kenneth Walker Heisman season.
This is hilarious, and I want to see how long they let this go. Like how bad it get. So I think it's hilarious. So even if Michigan State was not 2-3, I still would go Ohio State. But yeah, Michigan State is pretty bad.
Yeah, from playing Michigan State as a Washington fan, I can confirm that they're complete ass. I'm taking Ohio State by a lot. So.
It is Ohio State's first road game of the season, though, and we are in October. I don't know why the schedule makers made it like that, but oh well.
What do you mean, the schedule makers?
You mean the University of Ohio State?
The
entirely home out of conference schedule. Who are you blaming?
The schedule makers, aka.
Uh,
Schedule an away game, dude. Holy shit.
Go to Cincinnati.
Play at Bowling Green. Come on.
I'd love to go to Cincinnati, man. That'd be a great
That'd be a
outcome.
fun game.
Cam is like shouting at the sky, "What are you doing, schedule makers?" It's Ryan Day. He's the one doing it. All right, 4 o'clock.
Next game.
SEC Network. We got a good one. Number 9 Ole Miss goes to Vanderbilt.
All right, this is a trap game for sure. Vanderbilt started this year 2-0, lost to Wake Forest, won against I think NIU, lost only 55-3 against Bama last week. Poor outing by Alabama, and then Ole Miss. This is a trap game for them because they've got Auburn coming up next week, so it's gonna be real tough. Ole Miss is only an 18.5-point favorite. I'm gonna have to take Ole Miss, and they not just cover the spread, but they double the spread.
Why did that take so long?
So you can think about your answer because I know it's a tough one.
Oh yeah, dude. Let me fucking bet on a Clark Lay fucking football team. Tough decision there.
Why did that take so long? Hey, you can go to that game for $40.
Oh yeah. Let me spend $40 to go watch Vanderbilt football.
It's in Nashville.
Hey, sounds amazing, dude.
Yeah, I'm taking Ole Miss, expecting Jackson Dart to have like 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, same. I'll have Ole Miss roll through hotty toddy as usual.
The
Wow.
way you say things makes me think you're gay.
You have a problem with gay people, Levi?
No, I've fucked one before.
Good for you. You're an ally.
I don't know why I just said that.
Good for you. You're an ally.
I am an ally of the LGBTQ plus community.
Anthony Edwards has been forgiven by the LGBTQ plus community as well.
Speaking of the LGBTQ plus community, number 21 Washington traveled to Arizona State. 4 o'clock Pac-12 network. Washington favored 13.5.
Washington coming off a loss to UCLA on Friday night. Travels to Arizona State. I think the loss is still in their heads. Washington wins
so.
by 26.
Bounce back win. Washington wins by a lot.
Yeah. I feel sorry for ASU. Washington's going to roll.
Hey, they fired Herm Edwards and then did a little bit better.
If the defense plays like it did last week, Valladay could give us a lot of problems. He's a very good running back, but outside of him, Emory Jones a little bit has looked a little better than he did in Florida for sure. But
Emory Jones.
out he does a whole lot. So
that reminds me of Tate Martell.
Yeah, I'm going Washington also.
Only difference is Tate Martell doesn't play. So
yeah.
Next
unanimous Washington.
Next matchup, 7:30 p.m. ABC. Number 5 Clemson travels to Boston College. Clemson favored 20.
Yeah, Clemson. Not even close. More than 20.
Yeah, give me Clemson covering.
Yeah, Boston College sucks. Clemson's going to roll.
I disagree. I think that Clemson is, but I think Boston College covers.
Really?
No, lying. I think that this game.
Well, given in like recent years, it's not exactly bizarre to say that because I think there was a year where they were both like 7-7 through three quarters, and then Clemson scored like 21.
Yeah, that was last year, but that was when DJ Ukulele played like shit.
Was that last year? I thought it was like 2018. Well, maybe that was Syracuse.
It was last year, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
Yeah,
They seem to do it like every year though against somebody.
Let's look at your fact.
You can fact. I just said it feels like it.
Oh, well, I'm about to feel your wrongness. BC versus Clemson history.
Not
Clemson
Boston. I mean, I said somebody, not Boston College. Like it was Syracuse one year.
Here we go. 34, 28, 59, 7, 27, 7, 34, 7, 56, 10. I don't think you're right. I will give you the 7 part. Boston College is scoring 7.
It is scoring 7, yeah.
Clemson is just scoring a lot more than 7. Yeah, okay. So next one, Fox, prime time, 7:30 p.m. The best team in Washington, the Cougars, go up against Caleb Williams, number 6 USC Trojans. USC favored 13.
I'll take USC, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a close game.
This could be a Pac-12 nightmare game for USC and Lincoln Riley. They could lose. The Cougars have looked good, but I don't think they do. USC should win.
Yeah, USC should win, but could be a good game. I'm picking Washington State to cover at least.
Okay, I picked USC as well. 7:30 SEC Network. South Carolina travels number 13 to Kentucky. Kentucky favored 10.5.
It probably won't be that close. I think Kentucky comes back. Tavion Robinson has like 140 yards receiving. South Carolina, I don't know. I don't know what Shane Beamer's going to do. Give me Kentucky in the points.
If South Carolina had anybody other than Spencer Rattler, I'd have a little more faith in them. But,
yeah.
Kentucky will win.
Yeah, let's go with Kentucky in the points.
7:30 ESPN 3. Okay. Army travels to number 15 Wake Forest. Wake Forest favored 17.
Yeah, I'll take Wake in the points in that one.
Yeah, give me Wake.
Like 17's low.
But yeah, that is really low. They should get a lot more than 17.
Like Army's not good.
I can see Army just like holding the ball for a lot, though. I think the time of possession battle may be a little lopsided.
Army just lost 14-31 to Georgia State, 1-4. So
yeah,
and Army's 1-3, so they're not very good. I've taken Wake Forest by a lot, more than the points.
The fucking the time of possession when I don't like they played last year and that game was unfucking real. It was like 70-56 or something, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Oh yeah, ball for like 19 minutes or something like that, or like 7. It was like some like insane possession stat. Like they scored like 70 points in 20 minutes.
So I don't know. Maybe that factored into this one, but I don't know. I think Wake still wins.
Oh yeah.
7:30 on NBC or Peacock. If you would rather pay money to watch the game? Number 16 BYU travels to Notre Dame. Notre Dame favored 3.5.
I actually like Notre Dame in this one. I think BYU's been slipping a little bit, and I hate Notre Dame. Don't get it wrong, but give me Notre Dame over BYU.
I thought you were a Notre Dame Auburn fan.
Yeah, absolutely. No.
And I'll take BYU in this one, just because. No football reason.
I think Notre Dame will scrape out the victory since they're at home and they're coming off a bye, so they're a little more rested. I don't know if BYU played last week either, so they might be off a bye too.
They beat Utah State last week.
They had, negative 21 rushing yards in the first half of that game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They played.
Yeah, I'll take Notre Dame and the points. They'll get an upset win.
It's funny that it's an upset.
Yeah.
I chose Notre Dame. BYU has been underwhelming. Well,
yeah,
I guess that's not really an argument. Notre Dame sucks too, but I just feel like the way BYU has been playing, that this just seems like a game they'll lose.
Yeah,
I agree.
Just a track garbage matchup for the top 25.
Okay, so 7:30 ESPNU. Jesus Christ, we're pulling all the stops for the channels.
ESPN the Ocho.
Number 20 Kansas State travels to Iowa State to face the next Nebraska head coach and Matt Campbell. The State favored by 2.
Adrian Martinez has been on an absolute tear the last 2 weeks. I don't know what him and the coaching staff have done different, but whatever it is, it's working. Give me Kansas State over Iowa State.
9 a.m. is going to wreak havoc on Iowa State, but it'll still be a close game. Give me Kansas State, though.
Yeah, I've been disappointed by Iowa State this year. I'm taking Kansas State as well.
I think Matt Campbell wins this game just because he wants to.
Yeah.
I think your will.
I think he's this just seems like a game that Matt Campbell is going to win.
Yeah, 4-star.
Like he gets the schedule and he wakes up and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna fuck over this team this year, and he just does it. It's just what he does.
Yeah. They're ranked 20th. Might as well fuck up their day.
And he's gonna take that mentality to Nebraska.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just what he does. Last year, he did it against Oklahoma State. He just decided that he was just gonna fuck up Oklahoma State's year. That's his way. So
yeah,
we'll see. I think he just does it just to be an asshole. The next game, really the game that everybody's debating about all week. CBS, Texas A&M travels to Alabama.
Alabama without Bryce Young potentially, I believe.
Yeah.
But Texas A&M,
might miss the year.
Texas A&M having a terrible year, losing to App State and then Mississippi State bad. Give me Alabama. I don't know if they win by 24, but I'll still take Alabama.
Yeah, I really like Jalen Milroe. He's looked good. He's really raw, though. He hasn't had a lot of opportunity, obviously, because of Bryce Young. So I think he'll come in and look good. He's played with a lot of the receivers in practices and stuff that are starting now because they were the backups and stuff with Bryce Young last year. So I think they'll look pretty good. Hopefully the transition is pretty seamless and they do well. Again, Texas A&M, like Joey just said, hasn't been good this year. They've struggled a lot. So I work with a bunch of Aggies, and they pretty much only like their defense. Their offense is not good. So that's a good news for our corners because they've looked horrible this year. So hopefully we can get to their quarterback and wreak some havoc on defense, and then Milrow roll on offense, hopefully. Taking Alabama. I don't know about the 24 either, but we'll see.
I see this as a revenge game. Obviously, for Alabama, they lost last year in College Station, and I feel like they have that still in their minds. So I feel like they're gonna pour it on Texas A&M. They're gonna put the hurt on them for last year's unfortunate loss. Milrow.
This game's
great. But give me Alabama. They'll win by like 31 or 27. They'll cover.
Yeah, I picked Alabama too. Oh great, here we go. 8 o'clock, ACC Network. Florida State travels number 14, NC State. NC State favored by 3.5.
Yeah, I'm not super impressed with Florida State this year. Like they went 4-0, good for them. Lost to Wake, it wasn't even close for most of the game. NC State is just on a whole nother level than Florida State is right now.
Really, you think after that?
Yeah, I think I'm going to take NC State.
What level is that, Joey?
Between Clemson and Wake Forest. Better than Wake, worse than Clemson, is far superior to Florida State. Like, if you gave me a tier list, like S to F, I would put NC State in A. And Florida State in C. Yeah.
C. Wow.
Hey, holy fuck! I wouldn't even put us in A.
Yeah.
NC State is top 20 in the country for a reason.
I feel like it.
And I don't think a 10-point loss to Clemson really hurts all that much. Like, fans, yeah, it's going to hurt you emotionally.
Yeah. Give me NC State. I will say they by 3 points. But they won't cover. I feel like Joey, as for one, is disrespecting Florida State a little bit too much. I still think that NC State will win, but they won't cover. That's all I gotta say. They won't cover, but they'll win. C tier though, my God, man. C to A.
3 points is the spread. Seems like Vegas likes this game to be close too.
No shit.
Yeah. Give me Florida State just because.
No fucking shit. I cannot believe you just said that.
Jordan Travis is going to drag his balls across your face.
No fucking way. Oh, 3-point favor. Vegas is favoring this game to be close. No fuck. Holy fuck, you think? Hey, Dad. Who did you even pick?
Florida State, dumbass.
Florida State. Don't call him. You do not call him a dumbass after you just said that.
Yep. Did you not hear me say Jordan Travis is going to drag his balls across your face?
No, I was too busy processing your idiotic statement. Jesus Christ. I'm picking NC State, but I think Florida State wins.
What?
Yeah, I'm picking NC State because I love them, but I through the history of being a State fan, they very rarely respond good to a loss like that.
Yeah, this feels like a trap game.
And so I would like to think that this bunch is different, but I won't know until I know. So I'm still picking NC State because I love NC State, but I think Florida State could win the game.
Yeah.
Lastly, number 12 9 o'clock p.m. Pac-12 Network. Number 12 Oregon travels to Arizona.
Yeah, I'm taking Oregon. Arizona has 3 wins this year. All 3 are against just bad teams. I believe. Oh, North Dakota State's their best win. They won by 3.
That's a good win.
It is a good win, but still, give me Oregon because their other wins are San Diego State and Colorado.
Who just laughed at that?
Left at what?
Identify yourself. I said North Dakota State's a good win, and somebody laughed. Who was it?
That was probably Kraigen because I didn't.
I laughed, but it wasn't at that.
Yeah, he laughed after I mentioned San Diego State, I think.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, damn it is a good win.
Yeah, after you mentioned Colorado.
Oh, yeah, Colorado. Yeah. But their best win is 3 points over North Dakota State.
Colorado is a good win. They were one of the few teams that have a 0 in one of the columns. So.
One of the columns.
They are. They do have a perfect seating thing going right now.
I'm not going to specify where that 0 is, but just know they have a 0.
They didn't fire their head coach for no reason now.
They fired him because they knew that he was too far above Colorado standards.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
He was too good. They had to let him go.
They're sending him to Colorado State, who lost to Sacramento State earlier this year.
Man, the state of Colorado is struggling.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Colorado State, Air Force, all of them.
Fuck you!
You know it's true.
Jesus Christ.
Kraigen is just after Levi. Dang.
He's on one tonight.
There's some beef.
Yeah.
Who are you picking for this game, Kamey?
Gets you banned from Twitter. Starts talking trash about your teams.
My heart wants to pick Arizona just because fuck Oregon, but Oregon's going to win this easily. Arizona's not good.
Okay. I have a real problem with you. How... I don't understand this. How did we go from last week Stanford, of all teams, is going to be Oregon, but you don't think Arizona will?
Because Stanford's a better team than Arizona.
No way, you just said that.
What?
They are. They have way more talent.
Dude,
Talent don't mean shit, bro. If they can't execute it.
You need...
Yeah, no shit,
fucking-
dumbass.
You need broadcasted.
Oh, now you're getting fucking... What's your deal now? Not my fault you're picking shitty teams to win games they know they can't win.
Okay, hold on.
I already
hold on.
said that was the
Just
bias.
so you know. Hold on.
If you were
Just so
here,
you
you would
know.
know that instead of watching the Giants.
Cam and Kamey picked pretty much the exact same teams this whole fucking thing.
Well, this is a pretty easy week. I was talking about last week with the Stanford pick.
Yeah, and we already covered that. That was a biased pick.
Kamey went 9-10 last week. And
I'm
Cam-
picking UCLA next week. Just heads up, because that's a biased pick too. Over Oregon, because fuck Oregon. So
Kamey went 9-10 last week, and Cam was like, "I'm gonna agree with that."
I'm going to agree with that guy.
yeah, last week was not good. It was bad.
You don't seriously think Stanford is better than Arizona?
I think it'd be a close game, but
You're not.
Jaden Dolores would cut up their defense for sure. But
You're not a real person.
You said you're fucking fake, bro.
You're not a real person. There's no way. You seriously believe that?
yeah, Stanford played well against USC.
Stanford doesn't have an FBS win. Stanford hasn't beaten an FBS team.
Yeah,
Still,
Yeah.
it's just David Shaw. That's all it is. It's like Georgia Tech. Their problem was Jeff Collins, not the talent.
Georgia Tech is both. They suck.
They beat Pitt.
They have more ranked wins than Stanford.
True.
Crazy world we live in.
That is too funny. Oh my gosh.
I don't understand. Kamey's thought process.
Oh, they don't play this year either, so we can't find out for sure. Stanford's better. So
We're gonna come back to this if Stanford beats Arizona next year and say this is the reason.
There's
Well, they're different teams next year.
I won't even remember this argument tomorrow. You think I'm gonna fucking think about that a year from now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
man. All right. That's all the ranked games, right?
Yeah. We all picked Oregon for the last one, right?
Yeah.
No, Cammy picked Arizona.
No. I said my heart picked Arizona, but Oregon's going to win by a lot.
Well, I went with your first option, so I went with the heart pick.
Recorder error.
The heart ones.
Yeah.
All right. Any other games this week you guys want to keep a watch on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The game.
I hope
Outside
Washington
the 25.
loses. Fuck you.
This is a staple.
I don't even have to say anything about that. So
I hope I really hope y'all fucking go the whole way to, I don't even know how you pronounce that city. I hope you go to, is it Tempe, whatever the fuck it is.
Tempe.
I hope, that fucking shithole. I hope you go there, and I hope you get fucking ass raped.
doubt it, but okay.
Speaking of another team, they don't have an FBS win. I really hope they get the first one this week. I will gladly take the L in fucking predictions to see that.
Who?
Arizona State beat Washington.
Oh, yeah.
I might even pray on it.
Oh, man. James Madison, who do they play this week? They got, who is it? Freaking somebody bad. They're playing somebody awful. I know they are. If they win and Washington loses, then James Madison takes their place straight up. Not just in the rankings, in the Pac-12.
Whoever may concern, I prayed on your downfall. I still save that for shit. How long have you had that? That's like a perfect chat fucking meme.
Like a week.
For a
Dude,
week. To
I
whoever
forgot
may
who's-
concern, I have prayed on your downfall.
I am saying that to Sony every fucking chance I get.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Because you told me to.
Not many good games this week.
I mean,
oh, you're not excited for the Virginia Tech game? Probably 'cause
No, not at all. Well, I know Georgia Tech beat Pitt, so maybe we have a chance.
you're more excited about the Auburn game, right?
Actually, slightly, because I really cannot care about Virginia Tech football this year.
Speaking of another person who's not real, fuck you, Joey.
What did I do?
You should move to Alabama. You instantly become a fucking cousin fucking Auburn fan.
Jesus.
These are Alabama fans. Ask Kraigen. No, I'm not an Auburn fan. But it's all we watch every Saturday. It's the only game we watch aside from maybe, like, I remember seeing the Wake Forest and Vanderbilt game. And we watched
feel so
Texas and Alabama, and we watched Texas A&M and someone else. And then we watched someone like Tulane and Tulsa or something like that last week. And I'm like, why are we watching this game? This game sucks. Change the channel. Oh, it was Houston. It was the Houston
Auburn
game.
fan this year. My God.
Wait, hold on.
They just want to watch games that are worse than Auburn so they can feel better about themselves.
Probably. It's terrible. I hate watching games like that.
Guys, I just found out something.
What?
It's the fucking Red River rivalry is this weekend.
Yeah.
We don't care about that game anymore.
It's so funny how far that game has dropped.
Yeah. Texas is winning it, by the way.
Yeah, probably.
I couldn't care less who won, but I'm assuming that Oklahoma will win since, I don't know, I like their offense better.
You
like back. Oklahoma's offense better?
Yes, I do.
Weird.
That's okay.
That's no football knowledge take.
Say
when,
that as Stanford.
when Oklahoma wins, we'll come back to this in a week, and I'll be proven right.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see. They only put up. I don't know. Yeah. Their offense is a little better than I thought it was. I didn't know they put up that much on Kansas State. I just remember Kansas State put up 41.
Yeah. They put up like 30 or something.
34.
Yeah.
They did only put up 24 on TCU and allowed 55, though.
Yeah. TCU's defense played really well against SMU, though. SMU has a decent offense.
They historically have the best defense in the Big 12, though, don't they? TCU?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
I think that's right. I think historically they're the best defensive team. Oklahoma tried the last few years, but
That's like that comparison is so dumb. They're historically the best defense in the Big 12.
I know. Yeah, it's like
It's like having diarrhea and being glad you're not shitting blood. Like,
hey, I understand. I know
really
it's not
bad,
much, but
It's not much, but it's honest work.
yeah. All right. Is there anything else you guys want to add?
Not really. Both the unranked games in the Pac-12 and the SEC kind of suck this week.
It's just not the best week for matchups.
It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, Tennessee,
I mean,
LSU. I think it'll be a good one, but
I will say this. I think somebody's gonna get upset. I don't know who.
me.
No.
Probably Joey.
I've been upset for 6 weeks now.
I think somebody gets upset, and I'm not counting BYU.
Yeah.
I don't know who, but I just feel like I'm leaving.
I don't know.
Honestly, I wouldn't even count that as an upset.
You would be upset for the rest of the season.
I'd be upset. No, there's no doubt about that. But
yeah,
I think you're right. I think someone does get upset this week, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was like, I don't know.
I mean, like an actual team.
Oh yeah, I know. Like I was saying, geez.
I wouldn't not be like I could see an Ole Miss one.
Yeah, Tennessee would be hilarious. But I don't think LSU.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is an upset, but I don't know. I'm thinking more of like.
I was thinking like South Carolina over Kentucky, but
yeah, I was thinking more of like along the lines of like a Boston College Clemson or Washington.
Oh, like a top 10 team.
Yeah, like one of those teams, I think.
Yeah, I think it'd be Texas Tech over Oklahoma State. I don't know. Texas Tech has injuries, don't they? Yeah, it's a little tough.
Texas Tech.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, they only had like that one linebacker whose bone came through his leg.
That was all. Honestly, better in 2 weeks.
They're just missing like a starting quarterback.
Yeah, not much. They can work with it.
The starting quarterback sucks too. So he's an Oregon transfer. He's bad. So they're better off without him.
Who? Oh, Shaw.
Tyler Shough. Yeah.
Shoe? Is it Shoe or Shaw?
No idea. It's Shoug. I don't know how to pronounce it. He just sucks.
UGH.
I pronounce it Shaw, but I don't know. All right.
I'd like to respond to what Kraigen just said.
Yeah.
I think you suck. I hate you and you're ugly.
All right. I don't believe we have anything else to say. Nothing else to go over. Every other game is kind of mid this week. You know, no good teams. Now, I mean, there are a few good games here and there, but a lot of games are just very one-sided, very heavily talented one side or the other. But if that is all, that will conclude this episode of the Shades of Red podcast, and we will catch you all next week. Thank you for listening.